I'm draped up and dripped out. I'm draped up and dripped out. Know what I'm talking. I'm draped up and dripped out. Know what I'm talking about. 3 in the morning, get, stash, buy, bets. We turning on the bub, hand, wool, ass, tight, showing naked ass in the great state of Texas. Showing naked ass in the great state of Texas. Showing naked ass in the great state of Texas. Showing naked ass in the great state of Texas. Home of the player, so it never be no flex. So long we've been waiting, never ever hating.
Less than 50 miles southeast of Austin, Texas, lies the quaint town of Smithville, a farming and agricultural community with a population of less than 4,000, known more for its contributions to the antique industry rather than the entertainment industry. This is where the story of the man known to the world as DJ Screw begins. Robert Earl Davis Jr. was born on July 20th, 1971, the son of Robert Earl Davis Sr. and Ida Mae Deary. Robert's family members recall life in Smithville.
Smithville. Oh, it's a little small town that, everybody used to come to just to have fun. It was well known back then, you know what I'm saying?
Real slow, laid back, you know what I'm saying? It's just not a lot of opportunity out there, you know what I'm saying?
You can't really make too much out of yourself down there because the way it's surrounded by nothing, you know what I'm saying? No stores too much, no places to, proceed with your life.
We used to spend on our summer vacation. We get out of school at our grandma's house, you know what I'm saying? That's way out in the country. I'm talking about dirt road. So, out there wasn't too much to do, ride your bike, you know what I'm saying? Play with the dog, think about shit, you know what I'm saying? The country ain't too much popping out there.
We was close, we kicked it, we had fun together. Never no fighting, no arguing, we supported each other. We was a close-knit family.
As a young boy, Robert enjoyed the life of a typical small-town upbringing.
He was a good kid. He was very understanding, and he wasn't a radical kid. He's one that he listened and all and obeyed people. He really obeyed grown-ups.
Music always been a part of our lives since we was able enough to listen to music. It's been in blood, and it kept going, stayed in it, and grew, manifested. You feel me?
The mom and pop playing their blues and stuff, and they gave him his own little old, one of their rec turntables and stuff, and he just started scratching and mixing. And
we bought his first turntable from Western Auto Store for him. He was 10 years old. That's all he wanted was a turntable and some record. Each week, Screw would go out and buy him a record.
Whenever you want to find Screw, go in his room, he on the turntable. Really, man, I don't remember seeing nobody teach him. It's just every day on the table. I guess looking at videos and watching other people, but it was just every day on the table.
The lack of job opportunities in Smithville became more than Robert Sr. and Ida Mae could bear.
They up and moved to California for a couple of years or so. They did. Screw, his mama, Michelle. They was out there for, I guess, about a year or two.
Robert Sr. would also make a move that would change young Robert's life forever.
We was living on a farm out there, and it wasn't much to do but raise crops and so forth, so we decided to move to Houston. And I ended up being a truck driver.
Screw was thrilled to be here because he was coming from the country, you know what I'm saying? So it was a thrill for him, you know what I'm saying? Only thing he didn't really like too much because he was missing his mom.
Robert filled the void left by his mother's absence by spending more time on the turntables.
Hey, man, with us, music was so, it was in us like, you know how you wake up in the morning, you know what I'm saying, you get dressed, you put your clothes on. Music was like that, because when you wake up, you turn the radio on, you know what I'm saying, it's in your ear.
I think the music the one that really took away from some of his learning in school because he wanted to be in music.
Still, way back then, I mean, we looked at it as a business because we was doing house parties and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We know it, that turned to a house party on Friday, Saturday, every weekend out the month. Yeah, we used to, like some of the mixes we experimented with from doing parties and everything. People like, man, I like to have a tape for that or whatever. So, you know, we'll sell our little tapes for lunch money, you know what I'm saying? We started seeing what kind of money we was making just from that. For us as teenagers, shit, that was a little change.
I didn't have a problem with it. I knew that's what he loved, and I did not stop him from doing what he loved to do, because as long as he was in his room playing his music, I didn't have to worry about him being out in the streets.
When he got here, he had more access to music, you know, connect with different people, bigger opportunities for him here, and he just loved it, you know what I'm saying?
DJ Chill, a classmate of Screw's, recalls their first meeting.
I talked to him, I said, man, yo, I want to know how to scratch, man, better than what I'm doing. So I rode down there to his crib, and dude had just records everywhere. I mean, I'm talking about his whole living room was nothing but records. He had one 1200 and one other little turntable. And he had a Radio Shack mixer, same mixer I had, you know what I'm saying? We hooked up, and I seen all the records he had. I looked at his records, I looked at my records, like, man, we need to come together and do some stuff.
The two young DJs formed a friendship and a business relationship that would mark the beginning of both young men's careers.
We got to doing a club together. His partner, Charles, told Ray Barnett about, yo, you need to get DJ Screw down here and let him spin. So Screw went down to Ray Barnett, and I stayed down there at Infinity. So we had two clubs going. Once they left my club, they would go down there where he was DJing.
What the sound was around the area, it wasn't no Screw until we heard Screw. You know, the cats that was out like Face, you had A-Ball, MJG.
Street Military was hard at the time.
Street Military, man, that's what turned it out.
When that song came around, it was like totally different.
When Screw first hit, man, either you was on to that or you wasn't. If you wasn't on to that, you was behind. So by the time I realized that I was adapted to it and I was in it, I had already been in it.
This is not a dancing time. Niggas like us wasn't finna just jump up and, you know, move the couches on the wall.
Boy, done that slowed it down, man, where you can hear the music and shit. Because the motherfucker was tired of listening to the radio bobbing his head faster than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We was on some G shit.
You know, it was shit you could hear everything, you know what I'm saying? Clarity of it was good. Being on top of that, you know, every track he doing something different, but he ain't doing too much.
It wasn't no sound to me, it was a feeling. You can listen to other DJs slowing music down, but they ain't got that feeling in that rhythm.
And then your boy, you know, he's familiar with my partner Toe. Toe was one of the first ones, you know, that was originated, was around right in that area.
You know, everybody's got to turning everybody on, man, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I say first, a lot of cats I ain't know from out there, man, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, I let Tyrone get a taste of it, and then, you know, next time I know Fatback, like you say, Bay, you know what I'm saying? Everybody from that whole side was screwed out, you know?
Many disagree on the origin of the slowdown style. The screwheads on one side, the old heads on the other.
Daryl Scott, I think, influenced Screw on a level that Daryl, I don't even think to this day would even know. He wanted to make Daryl proud.
Daryl Scott played a big part in all of our lives as a DJ, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember having a Daryl Scott tape when I was in elementary school.
Well, he used to tell me a story about when he was younger, he was DJing. Well, he really wasn't DJing, but his mom had this record player, and he would use a screw and put it on her record.
Well, the style itself goes far back than the times that we are aware of. It goes all the way back to when 45s was out before 33s. But albums had always been out, but we would take 45s and play around with just as an experiment and turn the 45s to 33s, especially if they were fast. And that would be just something that we would do as a joke, but it was never really recorded.
Daryl Scott on the cool was the first person.
Slow music?
Daryl Scott was the first person to slow music down.
Who the first nigga I heard slow that shit down? I ain't heard no other slow down shit.
This is where most of the credit should go to, and that's Michael Price.
Daryl Scott was the first one that pressed the word back in the game. and to play something going backwards, that transformer shit.
Farther than that, out while they were on the cut on Calumet, one night, all them boys was out there blowing. Mike was playing one of my tapes. It was before he fixed that radio to slow down. The batteries had gone down on the little radio, boombox we call it. He was carrying that thing, and once that thing started to go down and started dragging on one of my mixed tapes, everybody out there on the cut kind of lost their mind. So that's where he started playing around and rigging up that little box to slow down even with new batteries. So this was done with a screw.
I had parties coming in rapidly, and he was doing mixtapes, but we were sharing 2 turntables. He had a 1200, I had a 1200 and a little bull cone turntable. He had a 1200 with a little bull cone turntable. So once we brought those 2 1200s together, you know what I'm saying, made things better. I left him with 1 turntable and a 4-track. And a bunch of tape decks. So with a 4-track, you got a pitch control on the 4-track. So man, he had this tape deck, man. It was so live, man. He would record all his tapes on that machine and use the 4-track to pitch on with the turntable to mix. So a lot of times when you was mixing, you had to slow the record down a little bit slower than average in order to mix with the 4-track.
And when he came through, he had one of his tapes that he put together. I put it in the deck and I'm listening to it, and it's like way down there, farther than where I would go with it. And I'm like, well, what's the matter with it? He's like, no, that's it. That's where we got it right there. I said, oh, okay, I got you.
But now, Screw blowed up with it. D. Scott started it. Dale Scott.
Business was picking up, and Screw's talent for mixing was becoming well known.
Well, people would come to his house and write out a list of what songs they want to put on this tape. He bought me a shoebox full of lists. People just come through there, and he saved all the lists. This tape so valuable back then was that they were personals.
He make one with me, and I go over to another neighborhood and he's like, I want a copy of that too. He came.
You had to put your list in the box, in the crate.
Yeah.
You had to put your list in the crate, turn it face down. And when your time pop up, he gonna call you, come make you a tape, man.
You be in that when you, say for instance, you got a track, somebody track you spitting on, you be spitting regular, the beat be regular. You know what I mean? So when you leave, that's when he do his mix. So I can speak for me. I ain't never seen him do his mix. It's like that's his own ingredient.
MCs from different hoods began recording songs together, and the streets were loving what they were hearing.
Actually, C-Note went over there first, and then C-Note of the Bonnie Boys went over there, and C-Note that made us move.
So, you know, at the time I was like, look, today I want to rap on my tape.
I'ma come down, riding on foes, niggas sip drink, niggas smoke drugs.
He got a different sound. You know, they always say down south rappers, they rap, they talk funny, they country, you know what I'm saying?
Call me a king, diamonds in my ring. Every time you see me, it's a crease in my jeans.
And we used to have like the radio in the cars that ain't got no radio, call them throwdowns. We be riding around, getting high, freestyling.
And I got skills, house on the hill, pop another pill, flip a ratchet tree.
All the hoods knew the language, you know what I'm saying? So that Screw era like started from like H-Town and went everywhere.
Everything you hear is from me. That's why the freestyle shit kind of, the motherfuckers freestyle, we talk about what we do.
He been knowing Screw like for way before anybody like knew Screw, you know?
Coil Metal days.
Yeah, way back. And
weeping anymore, I'm like, these boys can go. You know, I couldn't believe, I'm like, who are these people? And they were so raw. So I'm listening to this, and then eventually, like, I'm starting to notice, like, Courtney, C-Note from Biting Boys, Courtney, Will, they're coming over more. Dez, who
basically, I was born in the clique, man. You know what I'm talking about? I was like 13, 14 to school how I put it down. You know what I'm saying? original member of the Botany Boys.
Hawk was constantly making tapes, and Pat was coming over, and it was like, this is all the 90, this was, the early part is like 94.
92, 93, man. You know what I'm saying? It was us, Fat Pat, and if I ain't mistaken, man, maybe C-No Nil.
C-No, Botany
You know what
Boys,
I'm saying?
Willing.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what
Them,
I'm
like
saying?
9-3, and then maybe
Big
bottom of
Dance.
9-4 up. 9-5 came to Pokey. You know what I'm saying? When Mo came in, by 9-5 too.
Yeah, about 9-5.
Mo.
I mean, then you have these dudes, this set of dudes that come in as like a little group. Like, not a group like a singing group, but it's a group of them. They're childhood friends. And it's like this group comes in and it's Keith, it's Horace, it's Toon, it's Pokey, it's Big Mo. And
Zero.
I'm saying, you
Youngster.
they came 9-7. You know, we got locked. I ain't know them dudes. But they, you know, so they came
Zero
in
Youngster.
like later though.
Screwed Up Click. When you say Screwed Up Click, let me let this be understood first. It's not just consist of rappers.
It was a couple more people that I met, you know what I'm saying, that was Screwed Up Click that wasn't even artists, you know what I'm saying? Like Screwed Up Click ain't just really rappers and artists. It was people that was from day one period.
The motherfuckers be talking about the gray tape. I can't, we started with the gray tape and all that. Nigga, what about the clear tape, nigga?
See, the thing about Screwed Up Click though, man, it's a lot of members. It's kind of like some Wu-Tang type shit. You know what I mean? It's probably 50 of them that actually rap.
LD, Kiwi,
Mike D, Botany Boys.
well, yeah, Big Steve, yeah, because Mafia was serious.
Then there's probably 50 of them that, you know, carry them things. You know, there's probably 30 head busters.
Stick Dead In, you know, long, you know, it's Long Boy off Long Drive, Third Ward, you know, it's a big old, long family.
Once I met him, everybody around, it was like a whole clique of, you know what I'm saying? Good people from South Park to Third Ward, you know what I'm saying? We all hung out.
Who brought Third Ward, with Herm Clark, with Dead In, with Yellowstone, and Hershwood, and man, brought all that together as a family, man.
To me, instead of saying Screwed Up Click, we could just say a band of brothers, because that's what it is. It's a brotherhood.
Saying, gotta have this. This boy serious, man. But the great tape, man. Fraud if you got any other tapes, I'm telling you.
Almost overnight, Screw's mixtapes grew from a neighborhood phenomenon to a regional craze.
We have to establish order, which is where this gate comes in. He was like, okay, you know what? From now on, we're going to sell tapes at a certain time, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, the gate will open. We sell all the tapes we need to sell. By 10 o'clock, we can close the gate.
From there, it was like McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? Dude used to open up his gate at like 8 o'clock. Man.
The motherfucker ride to see this gate open. When this gate open, he gonna be right there.
Yeah, that gate open.
You know what I'm saying?
5 o'clock, 5 p.m., the line would already be long, 2 or 3 streets down. That's why the feds and stuff thought he was selling drugs.
Screw will sell 1,000 tapes in 15 minutes, dog.
The demand was beginning to exceed the supply, and Screw's growing legions of fans would come at all hours of the night to get their fix.
True Life on TV World.
Now manufacturing and selling tapes was becoming a full-time job.
This time you'll have cars coming through, they banging music, so a person's perception was like he doing some illegal activities, because you seeing all these low riders and all these type of people coming through their community, that they coming to his house to get this music.
When I first seen him with them cars lined up like that, I thought he was doing something illegal, you know what I mean? For real.
You would think that if you stayed on this street and you seen all these cars, drop top convertibles, bourbons, all this, just cars backed up, hoodoos and everything, just buying you gonna wonder, what is this dude down there doing?
We had our own thing. We wasn't really worried about what was going on in the rest of the world. And when we did hear the rest of the world, it's because DJ Screw was putting us up on it. You know what I'm talking about? Because we really wasn't checking for nobody unless it was on the Screw tape down here.
He brought us on to every type of music. We heard California music, East Coast music, Biggie. We heard everybody through him.
If it was something that we wanted to get straight to the street, we would bring it straight to Screw. The Screw tape influenced a lot of records on that album, like, especially like 3 in the morning.
Street level of promotion has always been one that moves unit and gets the ears of the radio stations, who you're actually trying to meet, but the radio.
He's always telling me, he's like, man, I'm like a radio station.
That's what he'll say all the time. He was like, you know what I'm saying? If your shit jamming, I'm gonna put it on the air.
You ain't had to pay Screw to put your, like some DJs, you gotta pay them to put your song when they, man, if your shit was jamming, man, Screw gonna put it on there.
Big nigga.
South Carolina, baby.
Carolina, nigga, we got a whole, look at that crowd over there.
I mean, back then, Screw Tapes was really like a promotional team without legs that was able to make it where legs couldn't go.
Man, the appearance on the Screw Tapes, man, took me places I didn't even dream of. You know, this is shit I made like 6 or 7 years ago. Just shit that niggas ain't never heard of, and these niggas is telling me they reciting my lyrics from Screw Tapes.
So, you know, Screw did a bunch of advertising, and then especially for the people that was freestyling on the tapes, you know what I'm saying?
Our shine was really through Screw Tapes, you know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. Nobody really know too much about us or whatever, so it wasn't really too much battling going on till I think till people started getting a little shine on, getting deals and stuff or whatever. That's when they feel like they got their deal first or something. That's when their head got a little bigger than what the next artist. But really everybody the same, man. Nobody know. Well, nobody really doing too much no battling until I think till that time came up.
It wasn't long before SUC members started capitalizing on the new popularity, courtesy of DJ Screw.
My whole buzz and my whole everything was from Screw Tapes. Nobody else didn't know me from nothing else. It was from Screw Tapes, so I owed my whole buzz to Screw. Getting $1,500 for one song. To go on stage and wait till 1:58, barely can get into these clubs right before 2 o'clock to do this one verse.
I'm talking about, I moved 50 to 100 grand, 100,000 units, nigga, with no promotion. None. Nigga. Big pokey.
When did you realize?
And that come from Screw, underground.
Pretty soon, an appearance on a Screw tape was better than radio.
It's that crazy underground buzz that, you know, only, you know, pioneers from the street can create. So, you know, he had something that separated him apart from everybody.
It take a movement, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times to make something happen. And very few places you can go where the people embrace their own music. A situation or a scenario like that where everybody out here was embracing these tapes, then now you have the opportunity to take these artists and move them into a commercial situation, you know what I'm saying? And those Screw tapes allow that. And you need numbers, and you need to know that they got fans. And Screw definitely had the power to give a nigga some fans.
If you do it all again, man, that'll be the only promotion I do. I'll be promoting my shit on a motherfucking Screw tape. Hey, bitches, my album coming out this date, this such date, go get it.
Man, Screw made us a legend, man, a household name, man. Come on, man, we hood dudes, man, you know, doing our thing, trapping, you know what I'm saying? We don't know nothing about putting no 16.
But man, when you going out to Austin and Huntsville and all these little places we were going right there, and you hearing it, you like, oh man, way out here? Which really they wasn't that far, but you know, you saying, oh man, our music spreading way out here with little people really on this Screw stuff.
Niggas was coming from like Alabama and New Orleans just to come down here to find Screw to get them goddamn tapes. They ain't getting one of them motherfuckers. They getting like at least 15, 20 different tapes, and they getting like 10 of each.
Many SUC members were getting paid for performing their freestyle verses in nightclubs.
He's in Alexandria, Louisiana, at the VFW. We walk in the back door, they pulling on our shirts, you know what I'm saying? Ah.
I mean, we had cars and whips, jewelry, and money then already, so by us going to them little towns, they were excited on us riding on blades and big trucks with wood grain and music and all that.
You looking at this big old thing of people just out there, people just saying word for word what you done wrote or what you done freestyle. Man, you talking about better than sex almost, man.
Wherever you traveling to, man, somebody gonna put it up knocking the Screw tape. Somebody. And 9 times out of 10, they gonna have a dud.
And we in it for real now. We in here like the NWAs, and we really in the game, you know, because now we getting we got fans for real. And I felt like it was something real strong.
Yes, we are lambs and pimps and superstars. We never gonna change. Failures turn their backs in the game. We came up with by devoting our heart to the screwed up screen. And here's the first sheet. It goes by the name of Lil Kiki. Young Thug OG.
At a time when the SUC should have been enjoying the success of the Gray Tapes, a civil war was brewing, and the Screw Tapes would be used to send out the battle cries.
The way screw music really got big to the folks was, we was out there real street boys, and we would play this shit in our fancy cars, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about neighborhoods full of people, everybody banging screw. So the shit got big as hell.
We had almost like a turf war because the north side was flexible because of different type of cars we was riding, and they was robbing for the rims.
People would say, oh man, somebody stole my car. Then they say, somebody called me and said, man, I'm in your car coming down your boulevard with your bitch on the passenger side.
Shit got out of hand, niggas start stealing niggas' elbows and shit. Doing their cars like another nigga. You know what I'm talking about?
Like everybody back then had beepers. People were getting pages. Screw used to get them. Other people used to get them. And they would get these pages. And you call a number back and it's a recording. I'm coming in your house. I'm going to rape your bitch. I'm going to have your bitch on the north side of it.
The north side was presumed to be gutter. You know, in the south side, we were supposed to be players, and we riding in the north side, start jacking and robbing.
I'm from Rosewood, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, out there in Rosewood, you know, we always was representing the north side, so if they went to the south side, they, you know, would steal a car, spray paint north side on the car. But even at the same time, they stole cars on the north side, they'd steal them on the north side and spray paint south side, even though they was from the north side, just to try to throw you off.
It was almost like an underground newsletter, the screw tapes. That's what role the screw tapes played in the north and south side thing.
Sending messages through their tapes, we sending messages back on these tapes.
I mean, them screw tapes really brought that beef to life, man.
You know, we would get on the tape, and people, we would spit flows like, you niggas come out here jacking for our car, we got something for you, you know what I'm saying? So,
I guess some of the north side cats wasn't feeling it, wasn't liking that shit, you know what I'm saying? We was on that rapping, doing our thing, and then I guess they had some DJ nigga was on their north side doing their thing, you know what I'm saying?
On screw tapes from the south side, there was a lot of negativity coming toward the north side. You know, they was representing for the south side, so Michael Watts kind of came and filled the void that, you know, wasn't there.
Back then, it was nothing but screw, and you know, shit, everybody from that camp was south.
I don't know when Watts started or whatever, but man, I know that they were making enough screw tapes to make somebody start something so the north side could have a voice, because we had a voice through screw, man.
You know, when I first started doing it, you know what I'm saying? Of course, man, people on the north side, we loved it because, you know, it was a way that we could represent ourselves, you know what I'm saying, with the screw music form, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the flack came from people on the south side, which is, you know, is understandable because, you know, we taking something that they had created, you know, the DJ Screw created. Yeah, you know, Screw, he invented the whole movement, you know what I'm saying? And when I slowed down my stuff, man, you know, I got the basis of how I do my stuff from listening to the art and how Screw did his thing, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, man, Screw wasn't liking that, though.
He really didn't like it for the simple fact that they was using his name. If they would have said, I got a tape going slow, then he wouldn't have had no problem with it.
He was like, okay, you know what? It's enough money out there for everybody. You know, go get it. But don't call your CD a screw tape.
But they took the word screw as in when the radio is playing slow, it's screw.
Your name is John, call it a John tape. It's not a screw tape. Screw didn't do it.
I can honestly say he wasn't liking that, man.
Because, you know, being a fan of just the music, of just the culture that, you know, is surrounding, man. You know, me being a fan of that, you know, I couldn't really just ride around in the parking lot at Chalky Town with my windows down, bumping Screw. DJ Screw, because if I did that, you know, boys was gonna give me a hard time about it. Boys was gonna, even my homeboys, they gonna fuck with me about it. They gonna say, man, what's up, man? Why you jamming DJ Screw, man? They talking shit about us, and that's how they looked at it. They looked at it as, you know, and even though every tape you didn't hear some negativity, but every now and then you might hear somebody say something. I just shot up Tillwell, shot up Rosewood, you know, Rosewood, or this and that. People, you know, just talking shit. They directly say, fuck the North Side. I used to hear that a little bit here and there, but at the same time, for the music, for what the music was so creative. When Lil Keke came off on them Screw tapes, man, he was just fresh off the dome. His wordplay was so phenomenal, man. He was just such a wizard at his art, at what he did, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't help but just respect and be a fan of what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? But from a North Side standpoint, it's like, well, damn, you know, you take it personally, because it's like, shit, they talking shit about us.
So that kind of created a war, you know what I'm saying? It's people right now I know in the pen that's never fucking getting out, you know what I'm saying? These niggas, they done killed people, and people that got killed, and it was people that actually got killed, and you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bad stuff that happened behind it.
Now it's to the point where the tapes brought us together, so it really ain't no flex thing. You know what I'm saying? You go to the south side cats go to the north side cats come out here. So it really ain't no beef thing. So I feel like the tapes almost brought you together, because you can understand us more, and we can understand where you coming from. You know what I'm saying?
The closest started was when E and Slim came together, you know what I'm saying, and did their thing. That brought it somewhat to a closure. Then after Screw passed, that really brought it to a whole halt.
A lot of stuff like that in squash, man, because you see right now, we here today and we all working together, you know what I'm saying? You know, right now we at Keke video shoot, you know what I'm saying, Chunk Up the Deuce, you know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful SUC, you know what I'm saying, Switch House collaboration going down right now. South side, north side, it's by cash, baby, you know what I'm saying?
I got a chance to see something that I was so happy about, and it was at the craziest time. I was at Hawks Wait, and I was standing outside, and I just got through talking to Slim, his brother and his sister, and a couple of their friends were out there, or family members, but I was talking to them, and then I walk off, and then I'm standing close to where Slim is, but I'm talking to one of my friends, and I see Slim and Zero talking, like, yeah, it was like a really, really cool conversation. They sitting over there talking, and it's like everything is gravy, and I'm like, you know, I just took a deep breath, because I'm like, there's hope.
You know, what's good people to me? Cool people, man. You know, like I say, man, it was a trend, and trends are made to be followed, you know, so.
I'm glad it's squash. I hope it's squash, because if something like that started again, man, it won't be good for Houston, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about there's some real stuff going on, man. From the streets to the rap, you know what I'm saying?
In my heart, I feel like Screw he'd have overlooked it in the end, you know, being that he set the trend and he here to keep it going, you know, and so, because when a trend is set, people gonna follow it, man, and that's just bottom line.
I'm trying to take it where Screw left off at, man, to push it farther than where it's been at, man, you know what I'm saying? Because just because the man is gone don't mean that the art form should die.
By now, DJ Screw was officially the underground king of the South, and his top two freestyle soldiers were both challenging for the #1 spot, Lil Keke and Fat Pat.
I truly believe that he loved all his guys, all his boys. And there were some that just stood out on the tapes more than others. Like, you wanted that leaning on the switch. You wanted that June 27th. You know, you had to have, what is it, a new Screw tape out with Keke on it? Like, people actually would say that. Come up to the door and be like, okay, well, Keke put out a new tape. I heard such and such came out.
I started catching on to what it was about him that had everybody, you know, tripping like that. And then every time I would ask about him, same names keep coming up. Fat Pat, Lil Keke. Lil Keke, Fat Pat.
Fat Pat, man, that boy was very well known, though. That boy had a mouthpiece, man. For real, everybody wanted to hear Fat Pat. If he was, man, when do a tape. The boys wanted that Fat Pat Kiki. They wanted all. They wanted them tapes. They wanted to see what it was.
It made the average everyday Joe know and feel like, well, I can rap if Kiki can rap like this, or if Fat Pat can rap like this. Those guys was rapping real simple in the beginning stage. The only problem is their level of rap changed and everybody else's stayed back down there. So everybody stayed at that same level while all of those guys who started the simple rap changed up.
Man, Screw and Pat, man, you know, they hit it off real tough, man, because, like, Pat was going over there, like, every day, man, you know, going over there and, you know, probably in the history of Screw, Pat probably got more tapes than anybody. You know, if you just really sit back and think about it, he was over there every day, man. They got close, and, you know, I still listen to Screw tapes now, man, and Screw and Pat tripping and laughing, and they bond was like Batman and Robin kind of.
They was so tight till if you in there doing your mixtape and Pat come there and want to do his right then, you got to wait. You know what I mean?
For real, they went
that's
to
how tight
school,
they
went to
was.
Sterling.
Screw this here, I got something brand new, baby. Put it in, we put it down. Hey, you know y'all was doing y'all tape. And he'll cut a nigga tape short. Can't nobody else do that.
Fat Pat coming through, break side, drip down, riding 95, hill dog, watch the clear flying with the spot, riding on the blade, stop the shades, with the syrup and the lemonade, play a parlay, you call me the kid, because I'm coming through and the rap's like the weed.
Dick maybe, you know what I'm saying? So a couple more people can do that, but he'll stop. I don't care what they want y'all from y'all, to make y'all tape hold up. They walked in the door, got the new shit, you know, protege and sister shit.
Watch the truck get them sprung, watch me lose them on the web way. I'm riding one deep and I got the gas to play. The spray with the chicken on the Glock with me. I'm riding infrared and I got it on the seat.
That was just a great, tremendous amount of respect for each other's space. There's a lot of respect for each other's craft because, like, who knew Pat could rap, you know?
I'm heated up, got the gas fuck and I roll. I got the pop top and lose control. Only niggas who hate, don't clear, hate, don't debate. When you pull out your gas, cause I ain't gonna wait. I'ma tip your ass over. Like a 4-leaf clover. Gotta go back.
Like, I mean, to hear Pat on a CD is like, wow. I remember when this dude just used to walk in the room and just stand there.
While we was going to the studio laying our rap, that Pat and Kiki there, they would go to the schoolhouse and lay they rap, you know what I'm saying? Which came out to be a great thing in the end, even though we didn't know what the hell we was doing. We was just doing what we love to do, you know what I'm saying? That's another way you can damn near kind of get a feel of a nigga, man. These motherfuckers making they tape and the songs that they put on that tape, trying to put you in the you know, you take the nigga to your vibe. This is what I do, and you kind of, you know, they kind of tell you about the nigga. And Pat was a nigga make some damn tapes too. You know what I'm saying? So he got a good one for you.
Man, Fat Pat, he was before his time, man, you know. It was about Pat and Pat didn't even much know, you know.
He was the third one over there that just was going out. Then Kiki came, and then him and Kiki got to just, you know, on tape together going at Kiki, motherfucker, too. And he'll go off, you know what I'm saying? And you got both of them forces in there, man, so, you know, it's competitive, but it's all love. You know?
Never give up on your dreams, no matter how hard it seems. I know you want the foreign cars, the broad watching the screen, but you got a grind game. I'm staying on top of mine, dipping the grind.
Time he came over there, I had been hearing about him. He had been hearing about me. I was in there making a tape, me and Duke, man. One of my partners that from Hershey was a nigga that I grew up with. We was in there making our tape. And you know what I'm saying? I had been hearing about Pat. We heard the knock on the door, and it was him. I was nervous when he came. He came right in the door. Hey, this little Kiki, school turn one on. Let's do it right now. Shit, we did it from right there. I'll never forget it. That's the first one. We made a song called Funk on Your Mind, man. That started the Kiki Pat thing right there.
Everybody wants that #1 spot, man, you know, so, you know, Kiki will tell you to this day, man, Kiki missed Pat because Pat brought the best out of it. Kiki brought the best out of me. Kiki brought the best out of Pokey. Pokey brought the best out of Big Mo. It was just always, when we over there, man, it wasn't nothing like being over at Screwhouse, Screw put on a beat, Kiki, Pokey, Pat, Mike D, Grace. We all up in that circle, man, and just passing the mic, and everybody just, you know, you rooting for them, like, woo, you know, but at the same time, you like, man, I gotta stand up. We all up in here, but, man, it wasn't nothing like that camaraderie, man.
And the key and Pat, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers was hearing them, and both of them go hard. So shit, if both of them go hard, and both of them in there right now.
You know what I mean? They was friends, but they had their little battle going on within the flow. It was Fat Pat and Kiki. Everybody wanted to hear Fat Pat and Kiki flow. You know what I mean? So to me, that was like the little battle within the music, but they was not saying they wasn't homies. That was just the battle within the music.
To catch him in his face, to murder be the case. I'm hitting him in his mouth and what else? What the fuck?
Me and them had a friendly competition all day. We're gonna ride together in the car. We're gonna out freestyle each other in the car. We're gonna rap. We're gonna go against each other. It was about me and him, man. It was about everybody, but it was about me and Pat, man. As far as freestyling, doing this, we took it to the next level as far as everybody doing it, the two people that stood out, man. Me and Pat, so, you know, I love Pat, man, you know what I'm saying? He was an inspiration, kept me going. He kept me on my toes about rapping. I kept him on his toes.
You know, I'm gonna keep it 100, man. The only thing I had to do was show up and pay for some tracks and pay for some studio time. In terms of knowing what direction he wanted to take his project, who he wanted on it, you know, who was gonna produce it, how the hook was gonna, you know, all that was done deal. He already knew who was gonna feature on it. You know, half the beats here, he already, you know, that were remakes. Half of the beats that were remakes, you know, were his ideas.
He would just take another nigga flow and just redo it, south side, you know what I'm talking about? And gave it his own flavor, you know what I'm talking about?
Fat Pat was just, man, he was Lord of the Screw. Fat Patty. He got probably the most freestyles on the great tapes than anybody, man. Fat Pat ain't no telling how his career would have been right now. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing.
I can honestly say, I feel like I done worked with pretty much every artist that done came out of here since we done had this new movement going. And I'm not saying that, you know, I didn't know it at the time. If I'd have knew what I knew now, you know what I'm saying, I was really just getting my feet wet and really getting going. But now that I know what I know, that was the best artist by far that I ever worked with.
He'll rap some shit off the top of his head. You swear to God he wrote it. Then you'll listen to it in depth and be like, man, it sounds like he talking about my life. Talking about these problems. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, can't get this motherfucking bill paid. I got a little boy to watch after, you know what I'm saying? I got a felony on my back. What the fuck I'm supposed to do? Motherfuckers won't hire me, but I got this pistol though. I'm out here filling these applications out. Motherfuckers scared of a big black nigga, don't want to give me no motherfucking job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's really left? Take your shit from you or get out here and go to slanging or some shit. And I mean, it was just like, man, it was like the struggle in the form of a man.
It was people rapping. Scarface was rapping before Fat Pat probably even thought about rapping. 3-2 was probably rapping before. Big Mike was rapping before. But, man, once this boy got in the door, skyrocket, man. Everybody did that shit, though, man. Kiki skyrocket.
I wanted to be like Pat. You know what I'm saying? That's who I wanted to be like. Pat was freestyling, he was live, he was going to high rollers, winning the freestyle contests and all that. I was a young kid. I just wanted to rap like Pat, man, and meet Pat. That's all really I knew. Everybody else was rapping for real. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be a rapper. Scarface and these people was rappers. Fat Pat was the only one freestyling. So that's who I heard freestyling. He remind me like a rerun. Not in a crazy way, what I mean, you know, I still use this shit example for today. You got to be jiggy, man, when you use a big cat. Pat, real player, jiggy, bouncing and dancing, had a real step, just like a, you know, real, man, you know what I'm saying, real flamboyant, man.
And Pat was so, see, the people didn't know Pat, man. Pat was just crunk, man, just juiced up, man. He felt like he knew he was gonna make an impact.
Pat had a vision for this shit. Pat saw that shit.
And we were back doing DEA back in the game. Man, we was over at J Fresh using 2 tracks, you know, just laying down one vocal, then double it. Man, back then, Pat was using 3-4 tracks, man. Way ahead of our time, ad-libs, everything. So right then and there, I knew he had something.
Many people consider Fat Pat's 1998 release, Ghetto Dreams, to be one of the strongest debut albums ever dropped by Houston artists.
Fat Pat was like a mixture of Curtis Blow and Earth, Wind, and Fire, man, straight up. That nigga rapped that shit real gangster with a live-ass little groove to it, and then break out and start singing on your ass. But it wasn't no gay shit. It was like, he'll sing some gangster shit on you.
It was like, man, this dude really can sing, man. You know what I'm saying? This dude really can sing. This boy singing his own hooks.
Things are crazy in this life. Gotta get my smoke on. It's getting hard to hold on. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. Some real shit.
That was cool, but that Ghetto Dream, when I heard it on lock, me and him got locked on the
in the kitchen breaking chickens down.
Man, I say that fool, that nigga got skills.
Pat would not live to see the album's much anticipated release. Tragically, his life was cut short on February 3rd, 1998, just 2 weeks before its release date.
The day Pat passed away was the most horrible day. I'd seen Screw react to certain news, but nothing like that. The shop had only been open a couple of days. We had just opened the shop like that Monday. Pat died like that, that Wednesday afternoon, and we're at Taco Cabana meeting with Tommy Langston about getting some stuff done for the shop. And we're at Taco Cabana. We're just sitting outside talking or whatever. And I get a call. And somebody just came in here and said, Pat got killed. And I was like, what? You crazy. Dude, you tripping. Well, I sat there and I thought about it and I said, well, screw, Monique just called and said somebody said Pat got killed. He was like, what? Quit playing. So he gets on the phone and he calls somebody, right? And they tell him it's true.
Man, I'll never forget this, man, because I looked at my watch, man, and my watch just had stopped. After that, I got a call and it was like, your brother dead. You know, my watch had stopped at like 1:30 or something, or somewhere in that time frame. It was somewhere in that time frame, but it was actually almost 2 o'clock or something once I finally got that call. And I was just like, oh, man, because I got the kind of mom that she worries a lot. You know, since we were kids, my mom always worried. You know, we single parent household, so, you know, my train of thought just basically went on, oh man, how am I gonna tell my mom, you know, oh my God, what's going on, you know?
So I actually had a trial, you know, and actually I really was just trying to get the record out, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. You know, I was just trying to complete the project. So Pat got killed 2 days before my trial, and all this hit me at one time.
I know the dude who killed him. I had been in business, trained out. The dude was a promoter, a show promoter from Austin. And they just, man, you know, man, I forgot who called me. They told me, I think it could have been Hawk. You know, me and his brother real close. We stayed together before, you know what I'm saying? So I think whoever it was called me, I was able to call the right source right then. Hawk answered the phone, told me where they was. And I want to check it out, you know what I'm saying?
So we get back to the shop. I mean, and I'm like, he's in a panic. He's just walking in circles. No, this can't be happening. No, this is not true.
Man, he took it hard, man. Like I say, Screw and Pat was real close, man. They were real close, man.
You know, it was just like a silence on the South. Screw, you know, the whole South. They was corrupted. They was turned upside down.
It's like Fat Pat was the South Side, you know what I mean? Fat Pat was the slab, you know what I mean? So everybody was hurt about that.
Yeah, man. Screw's reaction when Pat got killed, he called me and he told me that you lost a brother, but you got a brother in me, you know, and that did me all the good, man. And he was also just telling me how, like, this what we striving for. We gotta do this for Pat now. This is for Pat. We gotta go and make it happen for Pat, man. And I gotta do, you know, he was just there, man. It was just Screw wanting to be there, man. You know, and that just, you know, from coming from Screw, man. Screw was just, I mean, he was just an unbelievable person, man. Me saying it just, I can say it over and over again, but man, just coming from him, it meant so much.
Screw definitely had to be affected by Pat's death, because there's no way, you know, you build a bond with somebody, man, and then, you know, and they die tragically, especially like that. You know, that affected everybody. You know, him being the type of artist he is and me knowing what I know about the music business right now, I probably, you know what I'm saying, this music scene would have been on, man. We'd have been, you know what I'm saying, we'd have been getting the airtime and the representation and respect that we get right now. You know, half of these cats right now only emulate him and they still can't tie his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Being honest, his music's still relevant right now.
It's just fucked up, you know what I'm saying? It was a legendary guy, you know what I'm saying, putting it down, and it's fucked up. It was just a fucked up day for the city, so it just wasn't about Screw, it was about everybody.
But Pat's passing affected him long term because he was just like, if God can take Pat, he can take any one of us. Because Pat was just Pat, you know, like, to know him was to love him, and that's the way I feel about Hawk. To know him is to love him. Like, you couldn't say nothing bad about him. Like, he was just a really, really, really cool dude.
By now, most of the rappers recording with Screw were young artists Screw had handpicked and began molding into stars in their own right.
Island boys, we think I play it cause I'm steady smoke smiling. Then you get famous, boy. I get a big old 600, tails made by ladies, boy. Nigga, I ain't hope for them, I pass it back. I put it on my kids, smoke no difference when we put Screw in the casket.
What I say to the second generation screwed up clique, because I've heard this phrase before, and the first time I heard it, I was offended.
I ain't considered it new school. I'm considered it as screwed up quick. I don't really look at it as just new school because shit, I just, to the most part, we came around toward the end, but shit, everybody except us, I ain't never had no problem. Me, myself, nah. Zero, he ain't had no problems. Chris Ward ain't none of us have no problem, you know what I'm saying?
I was always known around the hoods, you know, the streets. ES, Key, you know, all of them from Herschelwood on down to Southwest Guard with Pike and Galen, you know, when ESG first, you know, so hey, it been knowing me, you know. Young, that's how my name come about. I was always in the crowd with the big boys making it happen.
And Lil O's been around, oh my God. Lil O's been around for so long that he's really, to me, like a brother.
It was always a dream to have one of your songs chopped. So I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even know Screw. I didn't know how he was gonna react to anything, but I just walked up and knocked on his door and he came to the door. Yeah. I was like, you know, what's going down, man? I'm Lil O out the Southwest, and you know, I'll be putting it down. This my new song, and you know, I don't mean to knock on your door like that, but if you ever get a chance to check it out, check it out. Yeah. So I left it with him, and an hour later, you know, he called my phone.
I didn't know nothing about Braeswood till there was a Lil O. You know, I'm like, what's Braeswood? Braeswood Block? What Club Creek? What is that? Like, I didn't know what that was until you know, Lil O started rapping about it. Same thing with Mafio. Mafio was brought in, Big Steve. Mafio was brought in. He came in like later on. You know, Walsness family. He came in later on. He made an impact. Like, what would they have been without him?
Well, us coming in, man, it was like, for one, to the off top, Screw felt us for whatever we was doing, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, when with the shit that we came in with, that was the days of Gorilla Mob, you know what I'm saying?
Our original shit, when we hooked up, was like for music. But it was like, I met Robert, you know what I'm saying? It's like I met Robert Earl Davis.
Screw knew Zero long before I did. Like, I didn't know because I was so busy doing the shop and working every day. I didn't get to hang out at the studio anymore. Like, the studio was strictly studio, and I didn't get to hang out. So there were people that came along that honestly to this day I still did not know. And Zero just happened. Zero is one of those people that Screw took a liking to.
From there, we start talking about life. Start talking about like why certain niggas ain't gonna make it in the rap game, why certain niggas gonna have like one-hit wonders and shit like that. I mean, it was really like school. It was really like hip-hop school. And like being a man's school. We'll talk music for like 6 to 7 hours straight. Then like 10, 11 hours straight. He was like molding me. You know, I got a motherfucking attitude problem.
Y'all want to get an ass whooping on camera right quick?
Nah, don't do it, baby. Back then, I was worse than I am now. I was just, fucking slapping shit out of niggas on site for some bullshit. Braid a nigga hair like a beautician on site for some bullshit.
I need to get my shoes out of the trunk, cause
And screw it. Like, nah, little homie, that ain't the way. Really schooling me and shit on being a man out here. So it was like, when I started fucking with it for real, it was like, fuck music. I'm finna go to my partner house and go chill.
It was times I wanted to call it quits with this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because shit wasn't going my way with this rap shit. And he kept me going. Times that a lot of people wouldn't support me with the music, he kept me going, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Flip, I honestly can say, Flip came in with Courtney.
The first time I met with Screw, I was in front of a club called, what was it called? Club Unique, you know what I mean? And right down the street is a bowling alley called Stadium Bowl or whatnot. So if you from the South Side, you go see all these people every weekend. If you go into the bowling alleys and the clubs, because Maine used to be off the chain or whatever, man. And I was with my partner, his name was Jason.
That puts me in the mind of a story. I mean, I love this little boy's mom to death. There was this guy named Jason who, my understanding is he was one of Flip's best friends. And he went to Worthing. He was dying of cancer. And he used to come to the house. We didn't know this initially. We didn't know that he had cancer. He would come to the house and his mom would bring him over there every week, pick up tapes. And one day she came over without him and was like, "You coming to pick something up for Jason?" She was like, "No, I want to talk to you and Screw. I'm giving my son a birthday party. And I want to know if you guys would come over, as like a surprise for him or whatever." She said, maybe. So Screw say, "Yeah, we'll come over. We'll come through there. I'll bring Big Mo with me. We'll come through there." He said, "But I'll do you one better. You let Jason come over here, bring his friends, whoever he wants to bring. He can make his own Screw tape." Because he had been buying other people's tapes, other people making these tapes. He said he can make his own tape. And he could play, and I'll bring his tape to him at his party. When he passed away, that hit Screw too. Because this was somebody we had grown to know, grown to love. Like, we had invited into our home. And that hit us. Like, when he passed away, that hit hard.
C-Note and the Bonnie Boys, they the first to drop an album, period, at the Screwed Up Clip. And a lot of cats get on these DVDs and say all these names and them names and leave them out. So, I mean, that's just a game, dog, man. A lot of people don't want to see the underdog make it. And C-Note took me in, Screw took me in, and I told him I appreciate it. And I decided before my album dropped, the Leprechaun album, I was like, man, we need to do something for Screw. Let him know that we appreciate what he doing, man, because I'm making $2,000. 1,300, yada yada, whatever I'm getting, dog, and that's a blessing to be 18 years old, doing that. And a lot of cats, they take that for granted, man. So I gave Screw a plaque, the best DJ in Texas award. It was just something I wanted to do, and I gave that to him. Like 2, 3, maybe a month, passed by, and it came for my album to drop, and they presented me on St. Patrick's Day. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2001 at a club called Club Connections. And they crowned me the Freestyle King and made it official that I was in the Screwed Up Click.
Sucker for a nigga named Flip. The nigga been putting it down for a long time, know what I'm saying? The nigga real. Know what I'm saying? This plaque right here, Sucker Free record, the Flip, the Freestyle King. Know what I'm saying? This nigga is cold. You feel me? What's up? Flip. What's up? What's up?
Ever since. sense. Everywhere I go, I represent for Screw, man.
Then came what may arguably be the most popular Screw mixtape ever recorded, June 27th.
So, you know, it's what, 9'5", 9'6". We already really established, you know, but it just really ain't no, I'm just really not in, you know. I'm good, I'm family, I'm a social, I'm affiliated, but I'm not in. You know, so everybody doing their thing. We wasn't gonna really freestyle that night. It was Demo birthday.
It's the ones that smoke blunts with ya, see your picture. Now they want to grab the guns and come and get ya. It's the ones that smoke.
Everybody really thought that was my tape, my birthday tape. Which it really was not my tape. It was a dude named Big Demo. So they had Demo and Big Mo mixed up, you know what I'm saying? It was like a dude named Demo, it was his birthday. And he just had, I looked at it, it was artists from the Screwed Up Click that he wanted on his tape. So he made sure he can't get certain artists, you know what I'm saying? And he already had a little youngster with him.
I was really finna miss out. I'm on Sandpiper, getting it on, grinding. You know what I'm saying? They called my phone. Hey, come on, you know we got an appointment. We good. I called Screw. Screw don't answer, no answer. I'm thinking it's really nothing, you know, Screw don't answer, but we get there, man, it's long line. I see Bizzard, you know, I see Big Pokey, you know, everybody from different hoods, all kind of little rockers, you know. Like, now I'm under pressure, really. I'm gonna be honest, I'm under uh-oh. I know it's time to get your grown man on.
Youngster really, he wasn't really gonna rap. You know what I'm saying? Youngster was over there in the corner just freestyling, you know, and they was doing the tape. They wasn't even gonna do a freestyle. And I told Screw, I said, man, we gotta put this dude on something. Then Pokey walked in the door and a couple of people, Haircut Joe walked in there.
Bird come through a little drop 73, you know, acting doing his thing. He bringing the drink on in, you know. We gallons, 2 or 3 gallons, you know. I'm Clayton, 3rd Ward, man, pooling them. They come bringing up elbows, man. It's looking good. So all right. Rest in peace, little T. Lee, everybody in there, Fleming, Pokey, Screw. Hey, man, the list go on. Mark Christian, BC, I'm talking about we in there. Yeah, we couldn't find no track. Everybody killing, everything killed everything, everybody killed. Everybody, you see everybody here get the uh-oh. That's it.
And the tape was just, you know what I'm saying, we just jam tape, we just not just doing it. We never thought it was gonna get like it was. And it come out, it wound up being one of the best tapes that they put out. Everybody wanted it, you know what I'm saying?
Man, when you say Screw Tape, the first name they gonna say is June 27.
We're really platinum in the hood. Straight up. Steady selling to this day. Right down Cullen.
They can't keep it on the shelf. June 27, one of the hottest tapes. They love that tape.
The biggest thing I remember about the tape in itself was the time I was in the club, you know what I'm saying, Club Oasis. And I think the guy, the RP Cola was DJing or something, right? So I'm upstairs on the 2nd level and he bumping this shit, right? And I'm like, man, they playing Screw tapes in the club. I said, okay. You know what I'm saying? They played that shit, but I tell you, the whole fucking club was singing this shit like it was fucking some new shit that just came out or something. So it shocked the shit out of us. I'm like, damn, that shit rocking the whole club like that. A Screw tape, right? You know what I'm saying? Fresh off the mixtape and the freestyle and everybody singing word for word. I told him like that. I say, man, drop that fucking music. Let me make sure that I'm hearing what I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? Man, dude, drop that shit on the mixers. The whole place just kept singing.
Still is a minor, wood on a vinyl, TV VCR laid back on recliner.
You feel me? So I cut the shit back on. They steady rocking with it. I say, all right. I say, drop this shit again. You drop that shit again, the whole place steady singing that shit, hands in the air. I'm talking music went on for a long time. I'm just fucking with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Cut that shit back on. I say, oh yeah. Screw tape of fool. You know what I'm saying? And when I knew that shit, it's another level out here. You know what I'm saying?
The sitting sideways, boys in the days that Power have, he took that off of June 27 and put that hook in there. That sitting sideways, boys in the days, they took that off of there. It was so hot.
Yeah, man, you can go to the club right now. Put that June 27 on. Like last night, we was just out last night and went in the club and shit. It made me feel good that we still got a fan base like that. You put that June 27 on, man, the whole club rocking. I'm talking about people from out of town, you know what I'm saying? They jamming June 27.
After I get through, after my first take, really, I run it. We had done it like a couple of them. for my second tape, Screw we had come off, and Screw came to and he had hugged me, say, "You in?" I say, and I ain't really thinking that. I'm like, he like, "Shit, you did that. You made you done what you had to do."
That was history in the making. I hate I wasn't a part of it, but you know, I know what it is and I know what it did, for real.
The world was at Screw's feet, but instead of sitting back and basking in the glory of his accomplishments, Screw threw himself even further into his work.
Screw was one of those people where he really truly lived by the statement, "You don't work, you don't eat." He truly believed that in his heart. He actually has a tape named after that, like, "You don't work, you don't eat." Like, he could fall asleep in the middle of a mix and you say, "Screw, wake up." He wake up and he right back on beat. Like, I still to this day haven't seen a DJ do that, so.
Screw probably get 2 hours sleep a day, man. You know, Screw will stay up all night, but he'll sleep during the morning, during the day. You probably catch Screw at nighttime, you know what I'm saying? He work, you know what I'm saying? But it got to a point to where when he was getting his studio built, it was 24/7 for him, you know what I'm saying? He was working hard.
So the Screw tape thing was big, man. It wasn't no ordinary shit. It was something to oversee. Screw built his own industry, man, for real, man. I'm gonna sell these motherfucking tapes for 10, 6,000-7,000 of these hoes a week. And you hoes see what that do. Tell you, stacking like a motherfucker, 20, 30,000, 40,000 a week. Not buying nothing.
Screw didn't even like jewelry initially. Like, they had to convince him to go and get him a necklace. Like, Screw, you could put on a pair of Dickies, a pair of either Jordans or the little candy Adidas, a t-shirt, which was set. He didn't wear caps, you know, till later. He did eventually get into caps.
Johnny, man, he did Screw pieces, man, and you know what I'm saying? And he ain't never just go get 5 or 6 pieces, 2 or 3 jewelry like us. He probably have some cracking now, but he ain't just get down like that.
Satisfied with him just making his tape, just making his money, you know what I'm saying? Or kept a pocket full of cash, you know what I'm saying? Wearing Dickies, you know what I'm saying? Wearing Dickies and his t-shirt.
He didn't want the fame. He say, when our flow, he said, "I want the money, not the fame." We had to drag him to go to classics and the crawfish festivals and all that type of stuff. He always put in work, stayed in that house,
music, bro.
By his music.
Back.
Man, to me, it was like Screw, he was a workaholic, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the guy was working, sun up, sun down, making tapes. Me, like, I can't stay up all night. I used to sleep this tired. This guy would be up to the next day, you know what I'm saying? 2 or 3 days straight.
There's been times, I know there's been times I've been over there from, I might go over there probably like around 9 or 10 and be there and still be woke around 5 or 6 the next day. Leave and come back and he's still woke, you know what I'm saying? So it's been done like that, you know what I'm saying?
In the beginning, it was all about the music because it was all about the bills being paid. So it was all about the music. Later on, you know, I can't front, like, there were times when I just wanted to say, "Screw, please, you know, just go to sleep. Screw, please, let's just lay down. Screw, let's go do something." And he would be like, "Knick-knack, look, we got to do this, we got to pay this, we have to pay that."
Man, businessman, bro. He take it to the extreme, man. He doing everything right there in-house. He doing studio sessions with other people, helping other people. He doing his own mixtape. He doing DJing from 2 to 3 in the morning. Then he come home and we go eat. We trying to go eat. We think we put some nourishment in our body and gonna make us have some more energy. We burn out. We tired. And it's 24/7, 365. I don't know another DJ do it.
Some speculated this to be the reason he was never from SUC Records.
I don't believe that he really wanted to tie anybody down. Because for one thing, I don't think he felt like he had the money to give them. So, okay, why? If I don't have it to give you, go out and get it. We're going to all still break bread together regardless. So you go out and do what you need to do, and I'm going to still be here.
Screw's career had too much impact on his own self. Trying to become an artist, a DJ, and a businessman. It was too much, and we all popping off, and we all got to eat.
Screw understood that, you know, niggas was having kids, niggas was having rent to pay, utilities and shit to pay, car notes and insurance and shit, like, you know, grown man shit.
So, you know, a nigga couldn't possibly do all of that shit, you know, just doing some freestyles like for, you know, $300, $400 a piece.
Fat Pat came out on the rec shop. Mo came out on the rec shop. ESG came out somewhere else. Zero came out somewhere else. Hawk came out somewhere else. Mike D came out. Nobody came out under Screw. Nobody.
He wanted to click as a unison, but he never wanted to take that lead. I didn't think he wanted to do that, man. I really didn't. I just felt like he wanted to DJ. Because he, in a heartbeat, he'll go DJ the show, though. But, you know, going and sit down with the people and get this paperwork and say these my artists, and if he would have did it, everybody would have done it.
I'm talking about he could have contracts for every last one of them. Nothing. But just we know. That's how niggas 100.
I mean, his whole thing was to let us get on the tapes and give us a boost. Kind of like putting a kid on the swing, you know. Kid ain't ever been on a swing before, and you tell him, hold on, I'm gonna push. And that's what he did. He gave everybody that little push.
He was like a parent. Once you turn 18, it's time for you to go. So he did his job, so it was time for them to make their moves. It ain't like he was just trying to lock him down or like get him a label and sign him to his label because he blowing them up. He felt his job was to get them out there, which, like I said, that he was like a parent. Once you turn 18, you on your own.
We just chilling. Well, we got him to get on DEA though. We put him on the cover and everything, but it's just not. In my eyes, it just wasn't what he wanted to do. For real.
So Screw made that money, dog, and he told us, man, y'all do y'all thing. Anything y'all need on my end, I got your back, man. So that's why people didn't sign with Screw. You know, he wasn't trying to do the record label thing, man.
One thing about Screw, he wasn't no capitalism. You know, he wasn't all about trying to monopolize the whole situation. I can honestly say if he had, I think Screwed Up Click probably would have got a little further than what they did. You know, because everybody was on their own page, I think that held the Screwed Up Click back. But the only reason why they were on their own page like that was because Screw wasn't trying to monopolize the scenario or the situation like that.
Screw's grueling schedule and his lack of sleep were beginning to take a toll on his health.
Screw hardly ever got sick, and his body had started to let him know that it was time to chill. And he was having these pains and these spasms, and his face had started to twist, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are you doing it? He said, no, I'm not doing it. And he couldn't control it. Like his body would move, and I was like, okay. I called Miss Ruth, Ronnie's mom, and I was like, hey, look, Screw's going through, I don't know what's going on. She came and got us. She took us to the emergency room, and they saw him, and they gave him something to bring him out of it. He was having like a minor stroke, and it wasn't brought on by the drugs. It was his body wasn't resting, and his body was telling him, hey, look, dude, sit down.
Again, we was in Alexander doing a show, Screwed Up Click. Dude, I was on stage rapping. Something just told me to look over here to the left of me, and the stage was like, it was hiding. I seen Screw laying in a puddle of water. He was just shaking. He was having a seizure, a real seizure, because he was supposed to stop drinking and do all that. You know, so he was having a seizure. So I just had to run out stage and go get Screw. That's how your fans is. They think it's cool to say, oh, I'm over here with Screw, nigga. I'm drinking with Screw, nigga. I'm getting high with Screw. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. Screw laying in a puddle of water, dog, shaking out a seizure, man. This man could have died.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know this for a fact because I've had to hospitalize him 5 times before he died for heart condition. Like, I knew that Screw had a bad heart. I've actually had to go and put him in the hospital before. I've had to go and sit in an emergency room before. So I know that he had a bad heart. His heart wasn't healthy. Now, the one thing I can say, him drinking and smoking did not help the situation.
Guys who used to, just to get them in and just to get them to make it they tape first and stuff like that, they would actually come and hit Screw. He go some boxing tennis. He go them brand new Jordans. Screw, you feel me? He go this sack of smoke and he go that drink. You know what I'm saying?
That's a hard thing to escape. So surrounded by all of this same thing every time you step know, the willpower to say no is surrounded by that. That's what my heart
that the drugs influenced them. Now, I'm not going to say the drugs didn't hinder me, you know, because there were times when I wished he would have been sober. You know, there were times when I tried to talk him out of drinking, and I'm not going to sit here and try to play like, oh, I'm so innocent. I was never a part of that life, because I was a part of that life. I just thank God that I got a chance to get out of it as far as the drinking and the smoking. Like, I did that. You know, I'm not going to sit here in front and say, oh, I wasn't down with that. Or, oh, I was goody goody. No, I wasn't. You know, me and True used to drink together.
And, you know, not to say I saw it coming or nothing like that, but, you know, when you live in the way, I ain't gonna say the way he's living, but the way all of us, you know what I'm saying, we were going hard, you know what I'm saying, really in terms of kicking it and, you know, the lifestyle we was living, you know what I'm saying? So when you see it, you see something like that happen, because even no matter what happened, it played that the way we was living played a role in his death. A lot of people don't want to admit that, you know what I'm saying, or say that, but it's the truth.
Niggas kill Screw. Because niggas talking about Screw overdose. Screw ain't overdose, man. Screw was over there supporting them niggas who couldn't buy drinking shit. That's how he overdosed. He don't really want to do himself like this here, but you got all these niggas around you that they want to do it and they broke. And you steady buying paints and all this shit, keeping it real, because that's the one thing about it. He just keep it real.
It was a whole lot of shit going on with Screw, like with his health. You know, like with whole ass niggas hating on him and shit, police hating on him and shit, you know, neighbors and shit hating on him and shit, stressing him the fuck out, you know, and all that shit ain't help either.
I mean, he had just been going through a lot, man, at the time, just a lot of stress and a lot of other things that people was bringing to him that really wasn't his problem, you know what I'm saying, his issue, but, you know, he carried a lot of stuff on his chest, a lot of burdens of other people on his chest, you know what I'm saying?
He ain't kill himself, them niggas killed him. The nigga was feeding him all that shit and steady want to get high and fry and this here, because they broke and they couldn't support their own habit. Them niggas killed Screw. Shit, I tell them. Nigga killed Screw, man.
On the morning of November 16th, 2000, DJ Screw was found dead of an apparent heart attack.
It was raining real hard that day. When I gets back into the plane, my plan says, I got a phone call waiting for you. To pick up the phone and dial that number. When I dialed the number, it was my stepdaughter, Michelle, told me that Screw was dead. You know, that was a shock to me.
I was at my house, and a friend of mine had called me and asked me, man, you know, have you heard that your brother passed away? I said, nah. I said, man, you know, don't call me playing like that. And then she broke down crying, and I kind of figured something was, you know, it was probably some kind of truth to it. So I called my cousin Big Bub, and all he told me was, he said, Charles, yeah, it's true, man. And I drove straight up to the studio where he was at.
You know, the person that called me, I thought they was lying, you know, didn't want to believe that, you know what I'm saying, but it was confirmed, man, and, you know, that's something I can't even just really, still can't come to grips with right now, man. It's been over 6 years, bro, and it's like yesterday, bro.
I remember the day I got the call, which to this day still gives me chills, and it was my friend Shatoria. She called me, she said, she was just crying, I'm so sorry. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she paused, and she was like, you haven't heard? I said, heard what? And she said, Nikki, Screw died. And I remember dropping the phone. I was at my grandmother's house, just dropping the phone and screaming.
Told Zero here, lost one of our partners. You know, I said, you might want to call and check, you know what I'm saying? He don't know how true it is, a rumor.
He was like, say, man, yeah, you're violently in, that's the good news, but the bad news is they just found Screw dead. And I remember, man, I was in the bathroom and sitting in the mirror, you know, washing my face and shit, you know, getting ready for the day so I can go pick up my records. And that shit like crushed me, man.
I had to go see if that was true and go in person, because it was like, nah, you tripping. You have been tripping, man.
man. They niggas just be saying shit, you know what I'm saying? Because people was saying shit like that about Mo. So we just knew, you know what I'm saying, nah, niggas just saying shit, man, being niggas.
Every time someone died close to me, it's like a movie playing back in your head. You know what I'm saying? Every time somebody passed away, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, this a movie playing out, man. This can't be real. Screw died, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. You know what I'm saying?
It just didn't feel right. It didn't seem like he was really dead. It's just like, I mean, soon it's like everything was going good for everybody.
You know, when you first hear that type of shit, man, you be like, you know, you don't want it to be true. But man, that shit fucked me up because I just had pressed 8 to call this man on accident. I hung up. And somebody called him like, man, he dead.
The studio's right around the corner from where I was at, you know what I'm saying? And I was in the room and somebody called me and told me, you know, as you already know, I didn't believe it, whatever. I went around the corner, it was a sad story, everybody was around there, moping and heads down.
You know, because in certain times in people's lives, man, you just feel like the person is invincible or something. You know, maybe on a name itself or, you know, but you ain't thinking that Screw gonna die. If everybody else die, you ain't gonna say Screw gonna die. Even though everybody on this earth, they gonna die eventually. Somebody gonna die, sickness, whatever, you know.
Man, I heard Screw died and man, I was shook, man, and fucked up, man. That's just it, dog. And I knew what it was finna be, man. A bunch of mourning.
Some shit you just can't believe, you know what I'm saying? That's just like if another one outside the circle died right now, I'd probably be even way more fucked up because it's just like certain shit you just still can't believe, you know what I'm saying? When you love a person so much and you got that love for them, it's like it's hard to believe that happened.
You know, niggas die every day, man, but like, goddamn, no, Screw. A cat that ain't never told nobody no. If that nigga had $50 in his pocket, you could get 25. You can get the shirt off of this man's back. That was just how real he was.
Death is promised to us, but just for him dying, you like, man, I can't believe it, because you thinking he invincible. So just to hear that coming out of Big Mo mouth was unbelievable, man. I had to just see it for myself. And it was crazy. It was crazy, but it was true.
What do you remember the most about the funeral?
I didn't like what I heard on some of the news and so forth. It was portraying him as just a big drug user and so forth.
Okay, they said all in the media, the newspaper and the TV, they said it was just the codeine. It wasn't that. It was he worked himself to death. He did.
The biggest misconception is it's some type of overdose shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about they was really fucked up all the time or something.
It was really fucked up because, you know, they were trying to say like he was just on it like that. He wasn't like that, you know. Somehow they just blew it out of proportion, you know what I'm saying?
He wasn't always high. He wasn't like this druggie who all he did was just did drugs and made tapes. Like, and I mean, I just want people to know that he was a really nice, giving person.
In terms of the media, that was to be expected. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that we've been trying to do, that's what they've been doing to it anyway. You know, I look at that as a part of hip hop. You know, somebody gets shot, they don't say, this father, or this good man got shot. They gonna say a rapper got shot. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of them trying to put a negative spin on it, I expected that because I know they don't understand the music, they don't understand the culture, they don't understand what we doing, you know.
They would have did that with any rapper, man, because they don't like the fact that us niggas, as they call it, have found something where we can get money legally and don't have to be out here raping nobody, don't have to be out here taking nothing, sticking a gun in the nigga face, taking his chain off his dick, or taking money out of his motherfucking pocket. They was already mad because we was doing something legal. and making way, 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 way more money than them.
Every time something happens, if there's even a bust on TV where there was drink involved, yeah, and DJ Screw died of an overdose, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair because, from my understanding, it wasn't just the drink that Screw passed away from, and it's like they make it seem like it really was, and I think it was probably a contributing factor, but their thing is, this is the only thing we're going to concentrate on because this is why people watch the news.
That's expected out of the media. That's expected out of white controlled media. You know what I'm saying? They fear things they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's so powerful and influential.
I don't look at it like he OD or whatever the case may be. I look at it like that's God's work. So that was a lesson there for us to, like, you know, if he used something to pass, I look at it like slow down on that. I think that's a no-no. You gotta look at his death like, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't look at it like POD or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we all abuse our body. In one way or another, we abuse our body. Either we don't eat enough, or either we don't sleep enough, because we really want to be successful in this business. You know what I'm saying? My partner didn't overdose. He worked himself to his demise.
I know that, but the man a good dude. I mean, he care about people. You know what I'm saying? He ain't selfish or whatever. And he don't just think about himself. And know what I'm saying? And when he out here representing and doing what he do, he gonna break bread with you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
If I could say one thing about DJ Screw is that man really had a big heart.
While Screw was here, as far as the clique and through the music, he brought unity and peace, man. You know what I'm saying? When people come around Screw, they'll feel the love in the air and they'll feel the peace in the air, you know what I'm saying? And everybody respected that. Like if you had one hood tripping with the next hood and all that, they came to Screw House on the same spot that Screw was in, it wouldn't be none of that. That'll be put down at least for that time, you know what I'm saying?
He was an authentic dude, you know what I'm saying? You just don't find a lot of people like that nowadays, you know what I'm saying?
He didn't let the fame go to his head or nothing like that. He was just Screw, you know.
Dude was real. He ain't never sugarcoat shit. He ain't never been fake with you. He ain't gonna tell you like it is, man. Straight up. No bullshit.
Boy, that boy was a real cat, man. Love to help everybody. Gonna help everybody. You see him blowed up all them and got y'all out here right now. He gone. So if he was still here, he wouldn't get a chance to be none of them other DJs because they stole his style.
He was a blessing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't get to come across people like that, you know? A lot of people might come across fucked up people, but it was a blessing to be a part of what he had going, and it was a blessing for him to be a true friend like that.
Shoot, I mean, if y'all don't know he was a loving son by now, if y'all don't know that he was a workaholic, if y'all don't know that this dude was an angel because he made it possible for a lot of people to eat, but if y'all don't know that he was an innovator, if y'all don't know that he was a person that was just, he was an artist. You know what I'm saying? He was an artist. He was like a Picasso. You feel me?
And I wish they could really had a chance to just be around Screw the person, man. You know, not the Screw music, not the slowing down, not all that, just the person. He was just one of them people that you meet once in a lifetime. I wish you had a chance to meet him, you know, because I think it was one of the people that I met that really had a major influence on my life, man. Major influence, man. And he's just missed, man, because of just the type of person he was. I don't miss him for scratching on the turntables and all that. I miss him for sitting down with Screw, chopping it up, we laughing and giggling, and this Screw. That's what I miss, man. So I just wish everybody had that opportunity, man, because so many people live approach me now and be like, man, I wish I could have been at Screw Ups. I would have just wish I could have. Man, that was a wish. Because, man, it was something that only few got to experience, man. But those who got that experience, man, they going to carry that to their grave with them, man. For real. It's real talk.
Chop chop in the blue X's, time fly by. Me and you, speaking for the SUC. We'll always love you, R.I.P. DJ Screw. Used to ride it like 5 pounds a day. First play.